Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
George Carlin was right. Before his death he spoke with creepy-looking Bill Maher and fellow guest James Glassman about Imperial President George W. Bush, and he had what turned out to be an apt prediction of our Orwellian future. When fascism comes to America, it will not be in brown and black shirts. It will not be with jack boots. It will be Nike sneakers and smiley shirts. Smiley smiley. Fascism. Speaking of smiley, remember this guy? The not-so-smiley Senator Al Franken put crayon to paper on November 8 in an op-ed he wrote for the left-wing Guardian news site. Entitled, "We Must Not Let Big Tech Threaten Our Security, Freedoms and Democracy," Franken made it clear that the job of stealing our security, freedoms and democracy was the job of Big Brother, not Big Tech. In his composition, Franken alleges that companies like Facebook, Twitter and Google, which does have, a Russian founder, are incapable of handling the massive amount of information they gather on citizens. To that, Franken says Big Tech is too slow in responding to postings that he sees as being nothing more than propaganda, misinformation, and hate speech. Are you uncomfortable yet? You should be. Now that Franken cannot latch on to the bogus claim of Russian hacking into our election machinery and altering votes, he now continues to cling to the equally mistaken claim that the Russian purchase of social media ads doomed Hillary Clinton. Using this excuse, Franken makes the giant accusatory leap of tying the revenue from advertisement placements to negligent or nefarious business profiteering. Facebook announced that it made $9.3 billion in the second quarter this year, with 98% of that coming from its advertising business, Franken states. Google made $26 billion, with 87% coming from advertising. Once these companies establish dominance over our data, they can more easily erect barriers to entry for potential competitors. Incredibly, Franken simultaneously castigates the reign of the big tech companies as a duopoly while offering up the ever more dangerous cure of a government monopoly. This fascistic takeover would be disguised with the smiley face government regulation known as net neutrality. If that doesn't work, Franken hints that big tech will be coopted into government control by declaring it critical information infrastructure, thus covered by the demands of censorship as defined by the National Security Act. That gives Franken something to smile about. The less freedom you have, the less chance of you finding out what he and his fellow criminals are up to in Washington. What is your reaction? Let us know in the comments below and please share on Facebook.